you are new to digital art and Procreate app, this video is for you. In this tutorial, I will show you step by step how to draw the simple illustration. So even if you are a beginner, I promise you, you can draw this. Let's start. Once you open your Procreate app, let's create a new canvas. So tap here on this plus and let's pick A4 canvas. You can use your fingers like this to pinch it, to zoom it in and out. Here's the color palette I will be using for this illustration. You can download it, link is in the description. And first we are going to color the background. Let's take this color here. And you can just drag it and drop it into the canvas like this. Now we are going to take this white color here and we will draw our capsule. We are going to draw the capsule on the new layer. So open the layers here and tap on the plus. Now let's go here to pick the brush. Let's go to calligraphy and pick monoline brush. Here you can change the brush size. Let's set it to 13%. Now to draw the capsule, I'm going to use the symmetry tool. Let's go to the actions menu here and then go to canvas, drawing guide, edit drawing guide, and then here at the bottom pick symmetry. Tap on the options here and pick horizontal. Tap on done and now we can draw the circle. Draw a circle like this and then hold your pencil on the screen and then put your finger on the screen to make this a perfect circle. You can still scale it like this. So I have my two circles now and I'm going to draw a line connecting them. Draw a straight line here like that. If you hold your pencil on the screen, it will become a perfect straight line. And if you put your finger there, it will become vertical. Okay, and now we can tap here on edit shape. And we can still move this line a little bit if we have to. Tap your finger on the screen to finish this. Now let's do the same on the other side. Okay, and now we want to color this inside. So we can just take this color here and drag it and drop it into that shape. Keep your pencil on the screen and swipe it to the left or right to adjust the color drop threshold. Stop right before it starts to fill the whole canvas. Okay, let's color this here now. And now I would like to move this to the middle of the canvas and also maybe make it a little bit shorter. To do that, let's use the arrow tool. Here at the bottom I have uniform option selected and here I have snapping turned on. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller here and I can move it to the middle of the canvas and it will snap to it. Now I'm going to use the freeform option and I'm going to make it shorter like this. Okay, let me move it back now to the middle of the canvas. And we can tap here to finish. Now we are going to create the same capsule, but a little bit smaller. So let's open the layers and we can just duplicate this layer. Swipe it to the left and pick duplicate. I want this to be in a different color, so I'm going to change the color here. Let's take this blue color and just drag it into that shape. Now let's make this smaller. So use the arrow tool and still using the freeform option, we can make it smaller. Let's make sure this is in the middle. And now let's tap here to finish. We don't need the symmetry tool anymore, so we can just turn it off. Let's go to the actions menu and just turn off the drawing guide. Open the layers and now let's create a new layer. We are going to draw a mountain there. Let's change the color. Take this second color here. And now we can just draw a simple shape of the mountain, like this. maybe also small piece here, and let's color this inside. Now I want this to be visible only on the area of the blue capsule. So to do that, we have to open the layers, tap on this layer here, and pick clipping mask. Now I want to add some shading to that mountain. I want it to be only visible on that layer of the mountain, so to do that I'm going to tap here again, and I'm going to pick Alpha Lock. I have a whole separate video explaining Alpha Lock, clipping mask and mask, and I will link it in the description if you want to watch it. Now let's change the color. Let's take this darker color here. And we can change the brush. Let's take something with the texture. Let's go to charcoals and let's pick here carbon stick. The brush size I'm going to use here will be 15%. And I'm just going to color the bottom of the mountain going upwards like this. I'm adding more color at the bottom. This is enough, and now we can maybe draw another mountain. For this, let's make a new layer. For this, we can set this layer to clipping mask right away. Let's change the color, take the next color in line, this one. And let's go back to monoline brush to draw another mountain. Draw it like this. As you can see, I'm drawing outside of the shape of the capsule, and I'm making sure I'm closing this shape I just drew, so I can color it inside. Let me just add small part here. And now we can also add some shading there. So let's set this to Alpha Lock. Let's take a next color in line, this one. And let's go back to the brushes, to the charcoals brushes, and pick carbon stick. Color the bottom of the mountain like this. I would like to move those mountains a little bit lower. So to do that, I'm going to open the layers, and I'm going to select both of those layers. So I have to swipe to the right on this layer here, and now they're both selected. Let's use the arrow tool and move it down like this. Okay, tap here to finish. And now let's go back to the layers, tap on the top layer and create a new layer above it. Let's set it to clipping mask. And here we're going to draw the land with the house. Let's go to the colors and take this color. Let's change the brush, let's go to inking and pick Studio Pen. Let's make the brush size 45% and draw a straight line here. So hold your pencil on the screen, and now you can put your finger here to make this a horizontal line. Let's close this shape like that, so we can color it inside. And now we can draw here a very simple house. Let's color this inside. Here we can draw some trees. Draw lines like that. And now let's draw the top of the trees. And let's close this shape here. And let's color this inside. You can use this option here, continue filling with recolor. And now we have here this plus that we can move to the spaces we want to color. So do it like that. Okay, when you finish, just tap here. I'm going to draw some small lines here at the bottom. And now a little bit on the top. Let's do the same on the other side. And here I'm just going to color it manually like that. So the trees are done, and now maybe let's add some windows in the house. Let's take this color here. Let's change the brush to monoline. And let's draw some very simple windows. Okay, this is how it looks now. And we can move on and draw the foreground. We are going to draw many plants there. Let's create a new layer. And let's set it to clipping mask. Let's take a new color. Let's take this color here. And the brush I'm going to use for drawing the plants will be Studio Pen from Inking. The brush size I will use is 32%. And I'm going to draw simple plants. I'm drawing straight lines like this, and on the top I'm going to make some dots. Here maybe let's draw something like this. There are many different types of plants and flowers you can draw here. You can do your research on Google and just pick what you like. Here let's maybe draw a tall grass. Maybe let's make the brush bigger, let's make it 100%. Keep drawing grass like this. Let's make some of them longer. And now let's make the brush smaller, 37%, and we can draw some plants on this side. I'm using here very simple shapes. And maybe one more here like this. Now we can make a new layer to draw even some more plants closer to us. Again, let's set it to clipping mask. And let's change the color to this one. And draw some more plants. Start with the grass. I'm making the brush bigger again now, 100%. And now smaller brush, 34%, and I'm going to draw some plants. You can draw the same kind of plants like you did in the background, or we can draw some new plants. Different shapes. I'm going to do some of this and this. Okay, this is enough for this layer, and now I would like to make some plants coming out of this capsule. So to do that, I'm going to create a new layer, and this time I'm not going to set it to clipping mask, so I can loosely draw outside of the capsule. So let's do that. Let's draw some grass coming out of here, and now some plants coming here. Maybe a flower here. And one more flower like this. And now to the other side. Start with some grass and then add some plants. Okay, this is enough. And now maybe let's draw a smoke coming out of the chimney of the house. Let's make a new layer for this. And let's move this layer under the layer of the house. So here. Okay, let's take the color. Let's take white color. And let's make the brush smaller, 11%. And we can draw a smoke here like this. Draw two wavy lines like that. And now some more lines on the sides. Something like this. Now let's close this shape on the top. And maybe we can draw a small shape inside of it like this. Now let's color this. And now I would like to blur this, so it's not such a strong shape. Let's go here to the adjustments and pick Gaussian blur. Swipe your pencil on the screen to the right to add the blur size. And here my blur size will be 5%. You can see it on top of the screen. Now I would like to change the opacity of this layer so we can see through that smoke a little bit. So let's tap here on this N letter and we can lower the opacity of this layer. Let's make it 68%. I would also like to fade away the top of the smoke. So to do that, I'm going to pick here the eraser tool. And here let's set the eraser to soft brush. The brush size I'm going to use will be 10%. And I'm going to erase very gently the top of the smoke, like this. Okay, now we can draw the sun and clouds. Let's make a new layer. First, let's tap here on this layer with the land, so this one, and create a new layer above it. It is already set as a clipping mask, as you can see. Now, let's change the color. Let's take this yellow color. And let's change the brush. Let's go to calligraphy and pick monoline. Draw a circle here like that. Hold your pencil on the screen and put your finger on the screen to make this a perfect circle. Let's color this inside. And now we can make a new layer to draw the light rays. Let's move it under the layer of the sun. We can draw the light rays using the selection tool. Tap here, and here pick freehand. Turn on here the color fill option, so every shape that you will draw will be colored with the color you have selected. Let's make a selection like this. Let's make some more of that. When you have it like that, we can use the eraser tool to erase the ends of them. Let's erase it very smoothly there to get the fading effect, like that. Now we can also change the blending mode of this layer. So let's go here, tap on this N letter here, and pick here Overlay. So now this is how it looks. Now we can add some clouds to this illustration. Let's tap on the layer here, the top one, and create a new layer above it. I'm not going to set it to clipping mask because some of the clouds I want them to be outside of the capsule shape. Let's take the white color and let's draw a simple cloud shape like that. Now I'll draw a cloud here that will partly come out of the capsule shape. Maybe one small here. And one cloud here. Let's color them inside. And now we can add some more detail to them. To do that, let's set this layer to alpha lock. Let's change the color. Let's take this one here. And with the brush size 35%, we can draw lines at the bottom of the clouds like this. And now we can draw a few arcs inside. Something like this. Let's do it for the rest of the clouds. So we are almost finished. I still want to add some shadow to the capsule. To do that, let's open the layers. Let's tap here on the layer with the white capsule and let's duplicate it. So swipe it to the left and pick duplicate. Tap on the layer underneath it. So this one here. And we can color this with the black color. Take the black color like this and just drag it into the capsule. Now let's use the arrow tool to move this a little bit. You can tap on the screen to make micro movements, like that. Tap on the arrow again to finish this, and now we can use a Gaussian blur. Let's go to adjustments and pick Gaussian blur. Here let's make the blur size 11%. And now I would like to make this a little bit softer looking. So to do that, I'm going to change the blend mode of this layer. Let's tap here on the N letter and pick Overlay. So now this is not a black color anymore, it's a darker version of the color that's underneath it. And your illustration is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and please share your illustration with me on my Instagram, I would love to see it. And here I have still a special shout out to my Patreon big fans. Thank you so much for being there with me and supporting me. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!